going to the Dr. Fifa, who's a civil society representative, because they are often there to keep us engaged in that fierce urgency of now. Dr. Fifa, you have a few minutes for an intervention. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. We're facing monumental challenges, obviously, in vaccine production. And discussions on the COVAX indicate that all buyers of vaccines, whether countries or global health mechanisms, are facing delays to the supply schedule. And as we stand, some estimations are that LMICs will only be vaccinated by 80% of their populations by 2024. We read with disappointment the leaked text of the WHO draft resolution to strengthen local production of health technologies, and of the countries deleting bracketed text that would enable technology transfer to LMICs. To sit here at the Facilitation Council and talk about global solidarity, and then not to ask for the deletion of text and important provisions that would help LMICs get access to more vaccines, is hypocrisy. We thus call upon the United States, Norway, the UK, and Switzerland to withdraw their objections to the text. The CTAP can be an effective mechanism to maximize vaccine production, but it is sidelined. We understand that there is a proposal for a so-called vaccines capacity connector. It seeks to connect to manufacturers to alleviate bottlenecks, but has heavy industry involvement. The background document bizarrely states that IP is not a problem in LMICs, which is clearly wrong. You've heard a lot of people from LMICs talk about IP. Working with industry is what got us into trouble in the first place. So let's change the modus operandi and work together to make things more transparent and consultative, and involve LMICs and CSOs from the outset. We are also entering this Facilitation Council meeting just 10 days after the Chatham House meeting that Richard mentioned, sponsored by COVAX, together with Bio and IFPMA, which claimed that there's a production capacity of 14 billion doses by end of 2021. And according to an Airfinity document, industry delivered 96% fewer doses in 2020 than it had promised. The question is, why are we blindly trusting that 2021 will be any different? We can't take industry's claims at face value. There is also already too much at stake to rely on these aspirational projections as our route out of the biggest public health crisis of our generation. We also think there needs to be a credible mapping exercise on manufacturing capacity and expertise available in the Global South, on how much money is needed over X number of years to produce Y numbers of vaccines and to ensure viable manufacturing for entire continents in the Global South. WHO should be leading from the front on this, and we call upon ASEAN and other similar global health entities to convene urgent meetings towards this end, and we commend the African Union for starting work on this process. We need to explore incentives for technology transfer urgently. We urge governments, especially those who truly believe in global solidarity, to explore setting up a buyout fund that would pay for technology transfer. We should remember that the US government paid Merck $150 million to enhance its capacity to produce the J&J vaccine. So this is a good precedent for technology transfer. And finally, bilateral production deals will only be effective if they are fully transparent and are non-exclusive. We often quote the AstraZeneca Serum Institute bilateral production deal, but it raises concerns. It's promised $3 per dose, but this hasn't materialized. South Africa and Brazil had to pay over $5 per dose. Uganda paid $7 per dose, 3 times the price that the EU paid. And the UK has secured 5 million doses from the Serum Institute, the main supplier for LMICs. This means 5 million doses less for COVAX and less for LMICs. This is not acceptable. These deals are not a solution to the bigger problem. We need to put energy into building a sustainable ecosystem to share technology, to decolonize manufacturing of health technologies, including by bolstering local manufacturing in LMICs. This is an opportunity for transformation, and we need to rise to this challenge. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much. That was powerful, Dr. Fifa.